Welcome back, Helldivers. Jogan here. I had to challenge myself with Repel Invasion Fleet here. I was going for no weapon usage at all, no primary, no secondary, no support weapons. Um, so primary method of destroying the dropships is going to be Thermite. So I took a supply pack. Uh, Additionally, if there was clusters of them, using the 380 or Orbital Laser, just to try to clear them out as they ran away from the massive horde. So I dropped all my stuff, took a look at the maps, see where most of the units were dropping in. Saw there was a couple right here at the extract itself. So I hung out with those thief troopers here. They act as a good distraction. They're actually pretty good at killing the Illuminate and also destroying some ships. They do help me out a little bit throughout the mission here. So now I'm just waiting for these to get down. When using the Thermites, I'm trying to get it to stick around the ring or the engine area. That's where I seem to have the best chance of success of blowing up the dropships. But again, it's not 100%. I'll check my map frequently just to try to remember where all these ammo drops are. That way I can circle back if I just need grenades or stims. Instead of using up one of my resupplies, just grab them off the ground. So I see this group starting to come up here. Just pre-stim, get away from that flesh mob that's following me. Obviously, it didn't work that well. But also got the Thermite out there. Now, the majority of this is just primarily going to be running away from the horde. The Sentry that I brought, I'll toss it in front of me. All right, so that it drops as I'm running past it. And then since the horde's behind me, it'll just start lighting them up with less chance of them actually hitting me. So here we go. I see the horde's behind me. I try to throw it over there, clear out some of the guys behind me. I start to see this group right here. 3 drop ships. Just get the laser out. Fortunately, my ship didn't have to reposition very much to start taking those out. And as soon as I toss that down, start moving on towards the next one that I can see. This is one where I would have definitely used the Ruptor just to take it out at range as I ran by real quick. Would have been much easier, much smoother. But Thermite ended up taking that out. So keep checking the map and keep looking around the environment. I try to hug the buildings as close as I can, just to kind of break that line of sight with the elevated overseers, because they will snipe you pretty good, especially once the Leviathans get out there too. You want to be able to break that line of sight with them as much as you can. I did take medic armor for this one. I didn't have the light medic armor unlocked yet, so I was just using the medium medic armor. That's just to get that extra 2 seconds of stim. Took the experimental stim booster as well. You can see some stray gunfire took down the shield on that dropship, so no issues if I wanted to get a Thermite on it, but needed to get my 380 on cooldown. For the most part, I'm really just trying to keep most of my stratagems on cooldown as much as possible. So this came up, dropped a Sentry right there, just to help clear some of the horde from behind me, keep the progress bar down. All my orbitals are on cooldown right now, so try to get a couple Thermites onto those two. And then I'm just watching them as I was running past, see if it got them. It didn't get that far one, so I tried tossing another Thermite on it. When possible, if you're trying to do something like this, free stim is always helpful. I should have thrown that resupply a little bit further ahead of me, but I saw just one over here. I see that Leviathan flying around up there. Really worried about that thing knocking me. But it's trying to circle back and restock my backpack, so cleared out some more slots. To avoid climbing on top of the resupply, try to run close to it at kind of a tangent. Right? You don't want to run directly at it. That way you can still pick up the pack while you're running. So any mission set that you're playing, whether it's Predator Strain, Bloom, just vanilla bugs or boss, just don't try to run straight at the resupply. I know I cleared some of those back there, but I know some managed to survive. Check the map right there just to double check. Again, trying to keep Sentry on cooldown as much as possible. Hoping that it doesn't take out my thief troopers. If the enemy pack behind me is not too bad, I'll try to stay in the general area so I can reattack if I need. Anytime I'm running past the resupplies, definitely want to keep my backpack loaded up here. So that Stingray actually ended up taking out that dropship right when I was already hitting the quick throw button anyways. So I kind of wasted the thermite on it, but that's why even if I'm running this normal with the primary weapon, I'm not trying to take out the Stingrays because they can be very helpful at least dropping shields for you. Getting a little lost in the city here as I try to navigate. I really wish I had some GPS. Give me some directions to where the next group's coming in. But I saw a couple more. Decided, hey, let me try to toss a couple thermites on it. Hopefully it'll blow it up from below as I move on to the next one. I did realize that if I move quick enough, then the elevated overseers do have a pretty tough time hitting me. Yeah, just watching these two, make sure they blew up. Yeah, that thermite did not get it. It was probably up a little too high. That pause right there is what really gave them the chance to knock me on the ground. Throw me off my game a little bit. Of course, the Leviathan's starting to take pot shots at me. My first death, I was really trying to go deathless on this run as well. But that's going to prove extremely difficult without clearing out some of these guys. Figure, hey, if I'm down here, may as well hit this ammo drop, toss some thermites on it. I know my backpack's right over there, so no issues on throwing a couple thermites to really guarantee. Pick up my pack and start working my way towards the next ones. I knew I had a couple resupplies right here, so instead of trying to duck through the buildings, I was like, I'm just going to muscle through it with stims. I was just constantly hitting the stim button, just hoping that my stims will activate before too many shots get me. Or something knocks me down. I didn't have any real pattern as I was running through here. I was mostly just looking at the map, seeing where stuff was dropping. I mean, if it was too far away from the general little area I was running around, I was fine with letting it sit there. Because it does take them quite a while for it to erode down that bar that shows you how close you are to losing the mission itself. I had everything cleared out up here, so I knew the horde was back there too, so I was like, yeah, let me start running down to the south part, clear out these two. And the Stingray will target the Siege Trooper sometimes, so they are pretty good chaff. The Sentries also act as kind of bait for the Stingrays. Sometimes I'll try to go for the Sentries instead of you. Again, just trying to get those thermites around the ring. Haven't used an orbital in a while here. Probably with all the chaos, I had forgotten all about my orbitals. I'm watching this back later on after I'd finished this. But I still haven't used a single shot yet. Tons of stims though. And I'm going to use quite a bit as my end stats will show. Another ammo dump right here. Unfortunately, with my sprint on, I had the climb going there. Not what I wanted. I see that Stingray coming, so I just wanted to get a thermite on that one. Before trying to stop and toss a thermite on that one, I knew I needed to get something down. And then I realized finally that I'm going a little too far out of the way here. But while I'm waiting for this to come down, just break in line of sight. So I can pick up a new pack and go back at these two since I didn't get either one with the thermites. Very unfortunate. I decided, yep, I could definitely chance this and go back and get it. Just toss an orbital barrage on it and then move on to the next one. Pretty clear here, so grab some more stims and grenades. Save my resupply pack, since that's all I really need. And both of them will stock you up with almost maxed out, right? Since I'm running medic armor and I have the extra 2 stims. One tip I will say is if you're running through the hordes like this, stim before stratagems It will definitely bite me at some point. But you want to make sure you get the stims out before you try to throw a stratagem. Otherwise, your hand's occupied and all the action you just took is for nothing. Yeah, there's another Leviathan just still peppering the ground. I'm just hoping if I'm directly below it, it won't be able to get me at this point. Getting the Sentry in front of me. So it'll drop. Figured let me get the resupply in there too. Was hoping that would be a good spot for me to try to fall back to. But I'm pretty sure that Stingray took out my Sentry back there, so I just decided to keep circling around. Mostly stand on the north side of the map because it seemed like that's where the majority of the ships were. But I wish I definitely paid more attention to where this Leviathan was flying around. Good high potential of him at least knocking me off my feet. But the medium armor definitely helps me a little bit more. I kept hoping the Stingray would clear out a lot more of the friendlies, or their own friendly units. But it really wasn't helping me too much in that regard, just against the actual drop ships. Tossing some more. I don't want to stay 100% topped up when I'm using supply pack, just in case I do die like I did earlier, because then that supply pack becomes useless if I am able to drop right back in close to it and pick it back up. And I see these buildings over here, so try to run over there and break their line of sight. Since I'm low on stims, I had at least 2 over here. Just wanted to get the Orbital Laser back on cooldown. I'm trying to figure out where my resupply packs are from what I dropped. Realize I need to start working back towards it, and unfortunately it's this main thoroughfare. But I did find that my own personal ammo dump there. Yeah, this would be a good time to try to get ultimatum shots in there. I ran way too close to that ground overseer. If you let them take a swing at you, they will knock you down quickly, and then all of a sudden the horde's on top of you. And of course the Leviathan from across the map. They are like snipers in trees, man. I realized after this match that you can indeed drop your drop pod on the ships and blow them up. I wish I had done that before this run, because I would have definitely taken that free kill right there. Now I'm just trying to circle around these buildings, and a Leviathan gets me. I thought the city map would help me out in this one. Park maps were wide open. They're more likely to get you from a good distance. But again, I guess I tried to knock this one out. You got to hit it more center mass, and then you'll get them. And they're just taking shots at me here. I'm just trying to collect as much off of this as possible. The stray overseer shots took down that shield for me. I know I'm pretty far away from where my backpack is. And of course, the Leviathan's still just being a pain in the butt here. Try to take care of these 2. I heard that Stingray, but I definitely did not check where he was. I see I got some resupplies over here at least, and my backpack's over there. I know that it also breaks line of sight with the Leviathan too. I didn't really want to grab that, but I was low on stims, so I knew I had to get that so I could get back to my gear. Yeah, I tried to pick up a supply pack right there. Couldn't. I finally see a harvester near me, but I'm just not too worried about it. I figure there's plenty of places to break line of sight. I got the Thermite on that one, just watching it to make sure it did indeed get destroyed. I'm starting to stress out here because I see that progress bar in the top right really dropping low. And then it looks like a Leviathan actually took out one of their own ships for me right there. I was planning on running past it and keep heading that way, but since it took it out, I decided let me go back over here towards this bulk so I can get some more drop ships and prevent from failing the mission just from number of Illuminate on the map. There were quite a few over there, so drop the 380. Get that back on cooldown as well. If possible, I'd like to drop the 380 as I run by so that hopefully it takes out a couple groups behind me as well. And I got really close to failing the mission right there. But the 380 took out a couple drop ships and boosted the number up a little bit. Obviously, as I'm working my way around, able to take out a few more. Since it was under 10, I was like, oh man, don't let me fail now. Tossed a resupply down, hoping it'll come down in time as I take out these two. But unfortunately, I'm out of grenades at this point, so I've got nothing. And I finally realized I did indeed have one more pack in there. Let me throw that, but the circling around really made it difficult with the horde closing in on me. I was able to grab one more pack off the ground from the what I dropped there. I'm running in between buildings here. Again, keep breaking that line of sight as much as I can. I see I've only got 2 left down here. Worked out beautifully to where they weren't on the extract, because then I have to try to dodge the horde at extract. Not optimal, because then there's a good chance they'll take me out again as I'm trying to get on the Pelican. But fortunately, these two are pretty close to each other. I know I need some more pack right here to keep my stims up, as well as grenades. And here I'm just double tapping them just to make sure that those two go down. I wanted no chance of them surviving that. And since I took those two out, I was pretty far away from extract. Figured the Pelican will be down pretty close to about the time I get there. I've got a backpack full of stims, so feeling pretty confident at this point. Still no shots taken. As it's landing, I'm just picking up low max out, just in case. I heard that stingray, so I wanted to get between buildings as fast as possible. And again, just a stim for the speed and invulnerability for a second or two there. Made it in there. No shots taken. That was really tough run. Really hard challenge just on myself. And I'm just so excited to see these stats at the end. Sigh of relief. Thinking, man, I could have played that much better. That was way too long down there. Got way too close to failing the mission a couple times. I was really bummed about dying those few times, especially to the Leviathans, but nothing you can really do about them sniping you from all the way across the map. Fortunately, we lost a few good Steve Troopers during that mission. Just collecting all my rewards here. Unfortunately, it was right before we had lost Eagleopolis, because it was the only city that had a Repel Invasion Fleet Mission available at the time. Now, I know it's a super hard mission. I'm sure if you're in there with randoms, a lot of times just people die 2 or 3 times and just quit out. But I personally find that this mission is an absolute blast. No set objectives, so you're just running around, killing as many Illuminates as possible and destroying everything. It's so much fun. At this point, I'm just excited to see these numbers here. I just want to see that goose egg.
What?
Did I fire some shots? But if you like this content, please like and subscribe. I'll see you on the warfront, Helldivers.